All right, episode 28, Strong and Petty. Notice this very small empty space here where normally Devin fits in. Devin's not the business-minded person that me and Beeks are.
Not
he doesn't
punctual.
No, he doesn't understand the importance of a timetable, a schedule, a work day. These are all very foreign concepts to Devin. So we're going to start without him for now. We're gonna
probably off cheating on his diet.
I didn't know where you're going with that one for a second there. I was like, holy shit.
And to be alive if you can't do that.
So we're here, episode 28, the big, the post Deadlift for Dreams wrap-up episode.
Yep.
We've literally talked about it every single episode of this podcast.
We can put it to bed for 2 months before we start building
before
up next
the next one again, absolutely. We finally, okay, can we get a, I think that it's been posted a couple places, but because this is really your thing, can we get a final count of the money that was raised for Deadlift for Dreams for, before we say the number, so this is money that's raised for Spencer, who is a young boy who is, I'm not sure we really went into enough about what this specifically is for. Maybe you want to what the money was going towards.
So each year, and this is what the Dream Factory does with all their events, is families contact them when they have a child with illness, and you have to apply, and then most get accepted unless you know what I mean. If you're a millionaire,
unless you're
family.
faking it.
Yeah. And then ultimately, each kid has a dream. And Spencer's is Disneyland, Disney World. I always get the two mixed up.
The better one, Disney World.
Disney World? I don't know.
I don't know which one it was either.
Come from a poor family. Anything that started with Disney wasn't in our budget.
A world's bigger than a land, so I would assume.
I guess so, yeah. So Spencer wants to go to Disney World. There have been kids that have just done like a bedroom makeover. One family got a camper. But
like the gaming center shit.
Yeah, Jasmine 2 years ago wanted to go to Paris. COVID put the axe to that, so they did Paris and Quebec. But each kid has their own dream. So the money raised goes to, it'll send them, their family, their accommodations, food, and some spending cash.
Right.
And then the excess money, looking at it, we'll have enough to go to another dream.
I hear someone.
And yeah.
Okay, so let's go into like a little bit of a.
So that's a wrap on Deadlift for Dreams this year. Oh, Devin, glad you can make it.
The episode here, Devin.
You guys are from the city, don't wrap anything.
Please have a seat. No, it's all good.
Pretty,
we're just on a little bit of a time squeeze here, and
only 40 minutes late, not a big deal.
Okay, but what I wanted to ask was I want to get some perspective on the whole thing because the numbers that were raised were pretty insane, and I want to try to like I said put that into perspective for people. So the first year that you were involved with Deadlift for Dreams, or you put on Deadlift for Dreams, what was the money that you raised?
So if I can go back to the beginning, when I met with Dream Factory and told them the idea, they were like, "We've never heard of anything like this before." Mm-hmm. And outside of Relentless, I don't think anything has really been done on a large scale. Mm-hmm. So we mapped it out, and I laid out the competition format. They did all the back end work, and we were kind of hesitantly, we're like, let's aim for $5,000. I'm like, I don't know who's going to get behind it. It's a brand new idea, and the first year we did 23,000.
Okay. So the goal was for the first year was 5. And you got 23.
We got 23.
So that's insane. And
so in a way, this year's a letdown.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You did 5 times the goal, so that's
tough to beat.
Like you said, it's one of those. You said like on a kind of like a bigger scale. It's like one of the only things that are kind of like this. Like we do our log thing at the gym that's quite small scale compared to this, and we just go we donate based on like registration fees. Yeah. This one, you guys were actually like going like all over, right? Like it was like you guys were hitting businesses and hitting like big ticket stuff too.
Corporate sponsors. We had
corporate sponsors, and
way,
and
right?
we had
what
like
do we have
a
for corporate sponsor?
three-tiered sponsorship.
Right.
We're right around 10 grand.
I think.
Just in corporate
So that
sponsors.
yeah, okay. So that's awesome. So
Yeah.
so now if we can do the big reveal of actually, since Devin hasn't spoken yet, why doesn't Devin do the big reveal
What am I doing?
of what was raised for Spencer, and then
Oh.
with the surplus is going to be used for kids all over all over Manitoba who are sick and dealing with issues that they don't want to deal with. Money raised by lifters for lifters. No, that's not true. By lifters for kids in Manitoba. But the strength community raised
$57,449.97.
$57,000 plus.
Yeah.
I also have 2 late sponsors coming in that we might see a 6 in there.
Amazing.
I'm hoping so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say it. Sunday morning, I had another guy donate $500 for Sunday morning. I'm like, the event's over, but he's seen the post and donated.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be creeping up even higher, even though the charity, when you think it's over, it's never fucking over.
Yeah.
It's never going to end for you guys.
Yeah. No, this is going to be running for a long time.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's just like it's just been like we said before you sat down here, Dev, that it's funny that we talked about this every episode of this podcast up till now.
Yeah.
And now it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Anticlimactic?
I would
No,
not at all.
it was
No,
climatic.
not at all. Let's let's dig into the day a little bit then. So, held at the world famous training grounds gym in St. Malo. Apparently a bit of a tourist hotspot.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? That was kind of cool.
Please.
So we hosted there. The tourist hotspot would be a guy, I don't know his first name, but his Instagram is Massonomics.
First name Mass.
First name Mass, last name E, or second middle initial E.
Mass E Nomic.
Nomic.
Just call him Mr. Nomics.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but I was messaging him a bit. He was just rolling through, heading to a family.
LeBrokery.
Yeah, LeBrokery for
So random.
Yeah.
I don't know if he rented Airbnb. I guess.
I think he said he had a cabin in LeBrokery or something.
Yeah,
was
he rented
renting or
one for a
something.
holiday.
Yeah. Just a total coincidence that this like big name I mean, if you don't know Massonomics, that's if you're not inside the lifting community, I can kind of understand that. But if you don't know Massonomics and you're one of the lifters, brush up a little bit because that's one of the ones that's been
I had one of their shirts, and I don't follow anyone.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
No, and that's we've had those like the Miller Lite.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I have that and I still wear it. It's I've had that shirt for probably 7 years now. And
Yeah.
But for someone to roll by, all it was I mean, the yard was full of vehicles. It was packed.
Crowd attracts a crowd.
Yeah, the bouncy castles, but there's only one door. We had a 14-foot by 10-foot overhead door open, and you could just see one lifter.
Yeah.
And it caught his eye enough driving
Yeah.
by that he did a U-turn and came back.
It's like if you were having like a backyard fight and then like Sherdog just rolled through or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just like how. What are the odds of this happening? Where on the day that we hold this,
And the timing, because he saw your deadlift.
Yeah, he saw the big dogs lifting and stuff, which is cool. He caught Dan, he caught all these other guys, and it was just the timing of it was absolutely impeccable. And I did message him afterwards too and be like, was that for real? Like, is there like, did you know what was going on? You popped by and you wanted to make it kind of like a fun story or whatever. And he was like, no, I swear, like I just happened to.
You talked to him as well?
Yeah, I messaged him.
Okay.
I thanked him for popping by and everything
Okay.
because his post got us quite a good rub there too. Like,
Oh, yeah, it
quite
did.
a bit of attention. It was
Yep.
8,000 views something by the time I looked the other day. So
Wow, I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
yeah, so shout out to Massonomics for popping by and giving us the rub on social media. It's always appreciated.
Like, I'm sure he would have stopped in anyways if it was flight 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just the stars aligned, and he
Yeah.
came in the last flight.
Yeah,
Where the heaviest lifts happen.
He might not have even stopped for the truck deadlift.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just the perfect timing.
Yeah.
And thank you for posting it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, like I said, I was walking towards my car from training grounds, and I looked at my phone. It was like Massonomics just tagged you in a post, and I thought, well, that's very strange.
Yeah. A shame he didn't stop to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he was in and out probably, but I figured it was kind of like maybe like if you follow World's Strongest Fan, where people will what do you call it? Like submit.
Okay.
So then he'll post things and tag you in or whatever. So like, oh, maybe somebody put something to my deadlift or whatever. And then when I looked, I was like, oh no, this is the actual. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
But it was really really cool. And the whole day as a whole was just like just a giant success. Like it was just like, the weather was kind of teasing us that it wasn't going to cooperate, and
But it was
ended up being
perfect.
great. Like it
I
was.
think it was perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
it-
sun, which
no.
was good because we had another my buddy Kevin, whose daughter is a Dream Factory kid, Ruby.
Yeah.
He wanted to show up, and Ruby just finished chemo treatments,
Yeah.
so she can't be in anything above a UV4. So he's like, I want to bring her out because she's part of Dream Factory, and he's like, and it just so he's like, I'm gonna make an appearance regardless, but I might not be able to stay very long because of the UV rays. cloud cover was there, she was able to stay the whole day, which I thought was really cool.
No, it's great.
That another Dream Factory kid that just literally finished chemo like a week or two ago was there. So that was neat.
It's one of those things too where you're like, oh man, I wish it was like a really hot sunny day, whatever. And you might think it's actually like a shitty kind of day out, and then you hear something like that, and you're like, oh, it's actually like that was the perfect day.
That
was
And the
exactly-
group picture
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it was,
With the clouds over top
Yep.
there,
Yeah.
it really, really cool.
Yep. I might have to Photoshop. My daughters didn't realize we were calling for the picture, so they went back to the house. And they're all hurt now. They're the picture. So I'm like,
shit.
I'll Photoshop them into the picture somehow.
tell them they can jump in on the training grounds novice competition
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
They can start the team division for strongman court man.
They both did awesome.
yeah, I was really proud. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted them to deadlift. My kids aren't very outgoing. So they're like their mother. No, I'm kidding.
But they're introverted in the same way.
they are very-
They're very friendly and polite. But you got to reach out to them though.
Yeah, we're very as a family. We're kind of like that to a degree. As I like to stay at home, but so I got them lifting, and they didn't lift every week, obviously. But I got them in there, got taught as much form as I could to an 11 and a 13-year-old. You can only teach them so much that they're going to keep. And they did great. My 11-year-old hit I think 115 pounds, and my 13-year-old deadlifted 140 pounds,
Amazing.
which was really good because it's.
Beating dad at that point.
Yeah, anybody can beat dad right now. I'm a whip puppy at these days.
So Katie and Morgan both did, and there was also Jasper, who was
We had a 7-year-old.
Yeah, another even
Jasper.
younger lifter.
What does she
yeah.
pull?
Jasper was awesome.
She pulled like I want to say,
I think she got
80?
she got 101 pounds because my
crap.
dad went to her. He just told me this. My dad went to her and was like, "Oh, you pulled 100 pounds," and she said, "No, it was 101 pounds."
Good
so.
girl.
Good for her for knowing. Don't you
Yeah.
lose that goddamn pound.
Yeah.
Don't you lose that pound.
Yeah.
Smarten up, old
So
man.
she does Oli lifting at NORAC.
Okay, I was kind of.
okay.
I knew there had to be some sort of
Yeah.
something there.
makes
So
sense.
she did it. Her mom did it, which was awesome. And the goal has been to make it more family.
Yeah.
And then Spencer's mom,
Spencer's mom lifted. That was cool too. Yeah.
who hadn't deadlifted before.
Yeah.
So really cool of them to do that. Like Bosco.
Yep.
So, I mean, for
Yeah, Bosco went up 75 pounds from last year's deadlift.
yeah, Bosco's getting a bit older. Like hard to call him a kid at 15, but
Yeah.
like 4 kids
Right.
is really cool. And a bunch of people who are pretty inexperienced.
Yeah.
And then working our way up to someone like you who's competed at CSM, and Dan and Pat would have been there, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
If I would have realized that many guys weren't showing up, I would have told Pat to lift. But we capped at 63,
Yeah.
and he enters. He funders still. He still funders a good amount of money,
Yeah.
but he wasn't allowed to lift.
Yeah.
And we must have had.
We
Jordan Hanna crawled out from under a rock.
Yeah, that was
and paid
that was.
appearance.
So I watched him lift at the WRPF meet, which was very fun because it made it feel like it was 2015 again.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see him lift here too. It's just good to see guys who are just like guys like him who I always give people shit for not knowing the history of Manitoba strength sports. Like Jordan Hanna was like a big dog for a while. Like he was. He did didn't he do Boss of Bosses
Yeah.
So him and I went to Worlds together.
Yeah.
And then a month later, he went out and did Boss of Bosses.
Right. So he's a guy where respect to Jordan Hanna for sure.
100%.
He's a monster.
Well,
so,
he told me he hit a 7. I swear it was a 760 something deadlift in the gym.
Yeah.
Was his best.
yeah. So and
When we were prepping,
Yeah.
he was pulling in the 7s.
And he's not a 300 pounder. He was always. Didn't he compete at 242?
He's a 242
yeah,
guy.
he's
Yeah.
very very muscular 242.
Yeah.
And he's a guy where he's had a little bit of a backslide in terms of his lifting and stuff years ago now,
Yeah.
and he's building it back up again. But he's not afraid to go out and just do something fun, like just
Yeah.
do deadlift for dreams.
Well,
not
he's
afraid
crossing over to Strongman next year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good conversation with him. He mentioned it a little while ago.
It's funny because sorry to cut you off, but he's athletic
Yeah.
as well.
That's
So
really,
that
that's
carried
really
over.
exciting to me.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
he didn't tell me that. That's really
He
exciting.
said a couple more weeks. He's prepping right now for a show in 3 weeks. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then he said after that he's going to come for a ticket ride out. I said, come on down. I'll help you out to get started. Like
Amazing. I'm
teach you
so
some events.
that's so
Yeah.
exciting. I didn't know that. That's so exciting to hear that.
We're going to have to buy a van soon. And just like Saturday, it
Absolutely.
leaves
It's
the perimeter at 8 a.m.
Yep, it's getting to that
I can
point.
take my black tarp off my ice cream van.
There we go.
There you go. The ice cream van. We did that once. We had a guy maybe it's even for the novice show. We have a guy who's like his name's Tyler. We call him Sabretooth because he just has these big fucking chops and long blonde hair, not bleach blonde, but like dyed blonde, whatever. And he's all of 5'1", and he's like this metalhead guy who like plays in bands and stuff. And he's like Jack Black in this like condensed little body. Like he's just got this like really deep voice, and it's really funny. But he has like a touring van that we all took to I think it was to the Training Grounds novice show.
Oh, okay.
So there was like 10 of us crammed into this like little fucking this like cargo van, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's normally used for black metal bands to travel across Canada. But you reminded me the first time that I was supposed to go to Altona to the chicken barn.
Yeah.
We all met at the perimeter.
Yeah.
And I was late the first day that I was supposed to
Very
go.
on
with you guys.
brand for young Tyler.
I was for the time. Yeah. I think I woke up around the time that we were supposed to be meeting there. So then I flew as fast as I fucking could to that
So
St. Norbert
funny.
gas station. Luckily, McDowell was when McDowell was pretty angry. McDowell, but I remember him not getting too mad at me for that one. I think he gave me a break on that one.
And I mean, you could play your cards, and he might have also been.
Yeah.
He's like, "Damn, but for the grace of God, go I," because that could have very easily been me sleeping in for no reason.
Yeah.
The fact is, McDowell probably showed up 10 seconds before you did.
He's like not mad, but he is very out of breath and stuff.
That was the best. I said, Chris,
Just
when you
ran
hear
up.
him, just around the corner. 20 minutes later, I'm like, what? He's like, never told you which corner. You son of a bitch.
I used to bug him.
I'm just at the light.
Yeah.
That was another one too.
I used to bug him. I'm 5 away, but he never said what he's 5 away from. I'm just at the lights, but never said what lights. And I'm just around the corner. Never said what corner.
I know. Yeah, I remember that.
funny.
3 free business lessons.
Yeah. So now that we're kind of on the other side of the Deadlift for Dreams, the day was everything we wanted it to be. Big deadlifts, big money raised.
Yeah.
Great
big,
barbecue.
Big smiles, big barbecue. Yeah,
Barbecue was a hit.
Yeah, Dean was pumped. He's
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
bet.
going to come again next year and I'll barbecue again. He was just excited to be a part of it.
That's great.
Dean still has leftovers at home.
Oh, dude, we cooked 150 burgers.
Really? Well,
Did we go through them?
There were, I think, 8 or 10 left.
Yeah. I walked up after people had already been going for a while, and Danielle was just pulling off the next batch, and she was just like, "Well," I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab these now." She's like, "Go," because they're still being like destroyed before people get to them. That was when I came out of hiding from the dunk tank.
We were supposed to both be in there, Tyler.
I heard the dunk tank, and I was like, "Yeah!" And I started backing up into the gym, and
That was a hit too, though.
I'm gonna call up my buddy Dilly that I met that day.
Dilly's
bastard.
an absolute beauty.
He
but-
followed me on Instagram. I'm like, we were supposed to both go in that tank together.
Did you message him?
No, but I will. Yeah, I'm sure he listens to Strong and Petty, so he's gonna hear this for sure. But I tried. I figured by raising money I could get him in there. So I'm like, when I went inside, I had grabbed a lot of money, and I'm like, if he doesn't go in, I'm gonna say, if I have more cash in my pocket than you, because I was lifting all day in the gym, right? So I had no cash on me. But I knew he might have $100 or $200. So I made sure to grab several hundreds of dollars. I was willing to donate just to get his ass in that tank, and that still didn't work.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I felt
He had that flannel on. And
Yeah.
the flannel takes a while to dry.
Right, he would have gone home with a soaking wet shirt.
Yeah.
Great guys, though. Great guys.
Both Mark and Dilly.
Yeah, shout out to Mark and Dilly from there. Was 101.5, right?
100.
100.5.
100.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Whiskey Tango. We had them on our show because we had Wheeler,
Oh yeah.
and that was our first time meeting them. And Deadlift for Dreams came up, and then Mark and I had a conversation, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll MC it." I'm like, "Just like that?" And they're like, "Yeah, for sure." And then it was kind of just agreed upon, and then they reached out to me. It wasn't like, when you get someone like that, you got to poke them a little bit and be like, "Hey, can you support it?"
For sure, yeah.
They reached out to me and they're like, "When do you want to come on the show to promote it?" And I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
"Oh, this is like on your guys' radar."
Right, yeah, that's always a nice
And
feeling.
and I think they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the
Especially
idea.
for two guys who didn't know. It'd be like if you went up and were like, "Hey, do this, call this race like this NASCAR thing." You'd be like,
Yeah.
"I don't know what to talk about." But they did a
And
great
the
job.
car goes fast around the corner,
Yeah,
and the other car is
but
also
they-
going fast.
They picked it up really quickly, and they picked up what's important and what's the, you know what I mean? Like, what's the
When they know how to hype up a weight, like
Right.
this girl's lifting 130 pounds, and everyone's just cheering. They know how to hype up no matter what weight it was.
Yeah.
They can make it sound like it's something extraordinary.
Yep,
Yeah.
they were very
right?
good.
That's key.
Yeah, I think they did such a fantastic
But
job.
the amount of
Great
people on the yard, and then I have a neighbor, an older gentleman, and he also just walks over. The morning he's seen the fire trucks pull in, because the Sitmall Fire Department came and filled the dunk
Okay,
tank.
I have a question about
Yeah.
who it is, but finish this.
So he comes and waltzes over. He comes, checks. So one of my neighbors that comes and looks always what I'm doing if there's something going on. And he comes over, takes a look. What's going on? So dunk tank, and they took off. I had my tractor going on. I was out there at 7:15 getting shit ready. And I've learned this tractor can carry a lot more than I can, so I'm just cruising over with the tractor now. It's way easier with my back. Anyways, so So also, I see him rolling during the event. He came up to me. He's like, I didn't realize you guys were doing this. And I put it on the same all the social media pages, trying to gather some interest from anybody in town. And then what I wasn't expecting from him is he's like, where can I donate? So I sent him to Carly, and he went straight to Carly and donated money.
Awesome.
And we had 2 other businesses in town rolling because they seen it and donate money.
Awesome.
So that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Was it the older guy sitting in the front row on the very end?
No, the guy that was like shaky.
Yeah.
Old Shaky Joe.
I said he looks like every guy that lives in a lighthouse.
Yeah. he did look. He looked like Willem Dafoe in the Lighthouse movie.
That's Bosco's grandpa.
That's Bosco's grandpa?
Yeah.
He was
Henry,
fantastic. I had like 4 or 5
he's
conversations
like
with him.
He's a shaky guy. He's got some health issues. But
Yeah, he was having
I've
a
known him
time.
for years. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That would. Yeah.
I thought for sure that's who you were talking
No,
about. though.
yeah. I don't think he would have made the walk from the yard back.
But the crowd.
That's what I want to get into a little bit was the mix of people that were there.
Yeah.
Where there was, I was really happy with the people who came out from like the city who made the trip out there, because I know it's, it's a Saturday. You want to do all kinds of shit with your day off, and it's really nice that people took the time.
2
to come
hours
out
driving.
And,
45 minutes each way, right?
So it's really nice that people came out and took the time, especially when it's like, you looked outside and you're like, it's not the nicest weather out there. It might rain. So for people to still show up and come out really, really meant a lot. It was really packed there for a good, like, it was, there would be, you'd watch the first flight and there'd be like, oh, there's a really good number of people out there. And then you look out again, they're like, it's a really good number, but half of them are different people. You know what I mean? Like it would just change and rotate and whatever. And it was really nice.
Tell you what, though. It was only about an hour of driving total with that Ford Tremor.
How'd you like that thing?
Man, I wanted to keep that thing so bad.
That was the deadlift truck?
The deadlift truck, yeah, the one from Wilf's Eli Ford. And they thanked us. They recognized that we tagged them on social media. And
Sweet.
apparently that's what upgraded us to the Tremor.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
But I was driving home, going 110, and there's a vehicle in front of me, and he's going about the same. But I'm like, I'm going to pass him. I tapped the gas, and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And I blinked, and I was going 160.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh.
You take trade-ins? And how many do I need?
Yeah. What do you guys think about infinities?
Yeah, those the truck deadlift came off really well too.
I had a panic moment on that truck deadlift. So I was sitting on the
Was it
tailgate
when
with...
I was testing it dead cold and sick at 9 in the morning?
So I'm sitting on the tailgate with Spencer and his sister.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
and because they're wet, their feet are wet, they get rocks and sand over their feet. And the girl, I don't know Spencer's sister's name, but she keeps like sliding her feet across. And I'm like, oh no, we can't.
On the tail of
we can't scratch this paint. So other guys, she's standing there by her surf and I can just hear it. And I'm like, shit. So I walk over. The cameras are rolling. We get the live stream going. I'm like, I don't want people to hear what I'm saying. I'm not trying to give a kid shit. And her mom's right there, and I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, hey, sweetie, you know what? This truck is brand new. We got to bring it back. We can't scratch. You've got to lift your feet. Like, I'm trying to sit the nicest possible.
Yeah.
So she actually grabs her leg, picks her foot up, moves it off the tailgate, and never did it again. I was like,
Yeah.
That's nice.
yeah, it's been an oh shit moment for me.
There's another good truck deadlift story if you want to share it.
Which one's that?
I don't want to name names.
Oh, okay, yeah. So me,
Thank
so if you watch the video, me and Spencer are sitting there, and he's
Spencer and I.
yeah, Spencer and I, sure, me and Spencer. What fuck? I didn't do well in high school, guys.
You know what my dad used to do when I said that? I'd be like Mean Devin. He's like, who's Mean Devin? What's going on with it? What did he do? What did he do to you that's so mean?
Anyways, me and Spencer are sitting on a tailgate, and every time I put my arm around him, he'd like grab onto my finger, like it was pretty. He's a cool little kid. Anyways, he's sort of cuddled up to me there. I'm holding on to make sure he doesn't slip and fall, and this guy's deadlifting, and just
No names?
Yeah, we'll lets one rip heavy.
Oh, you don't want to name names or name Nates either.
Yeah, I don't want to name Nates, but yeah, but a Paul's a Paul. So he pulls his 6th or 7th rep and just lets one rip. And at the same, about 3 seconds after, Apollo leans into him like, I think this kid's gonna pass out from this shit. Like, I don't know if this is
He's not ready for this. He's not built for this
so
yet.
he pulls one more rep and he's like, nope, I gotta stop. And he just walks straight away. And I think that was his cue that he might blow out the back if he kept pulling it.
I'm watching and I'm like, he's a definite 20 rep guy.
Yeah.
And he dropped it at 6, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he just did it, and
Yeah.
he was content, and
Yeah.
And then Devin told me after, and I was like, that is so.
He
funny.
sent me a video of it today. It's pretty funny.
Did he?
Yeah.
Can you hear it in the video?
Like you, the fart.
Yeah.
I didn't listen for it, but I
Oh.
will. But I'll have to check that out though.
Yeah. It was loud enough.
You
You
can
could
just see
hear
him starting to crack up while he's pulling and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was aware of it for
And
sure.
you're like, he shit himself, and I thought like he literally, because the way he stopped was just like, I'm out of here.
He could have. It didn't sound
Rinsing
dry.
off in the dunk
It
tank.
did not sound dry.
Just dives
yeah.
into the.
Right before Carly gets in there.
I was hit with a very strong feeling that I might shit myself. Right before the first pull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just destroyed your bathroom twice before that. Speaking of which, next year porta potties.
That's not a bad call.
That was
Probably good for you,
the
too.
only like positive or the only like critical
I should text
thing that
Carly
I got
right
back
now.
was it was porta potties, and even just two. That'll go.
We can do that.
We discussed that at a later.
Well, one of the
date.
guys, one of the bits that came and donated on the spot was the
texting
guy
her
who
right
runs who owns all the porta potties.
There you go.
So he
there
would
it is.
gladly donate.
So there you go.
I'll talk to
porta
you.
potties. That'll be the next thing. But yeah. So I blew at your bathroom twice, and I was just like standing there, like thinking, like, this might be this would be an interesting show to do it at least. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to shit my pants in front of everybody, at least it's at like a big. Like
This would be the forgiving one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to do after this. Like I
Yeah.
could just do it and leave. So,
Just running down
but
your leg.
but I ended up being able to pull it through. So with Deadlift for Dreams in the rearview mirror, which is like, again, it's like hard to believe because it was just such a major thing. I mean, I'm sure for you guys it's even stranger because you guys have put so much more.
We've
time
talked
and
about
effort
it
into
every episode that we've been 28 episodes.
Yeah. So that's now that it's behind us, and we have only a few more weeks until Strongest Woman in Canada, which the this comes out tomorrow. So the things were the things the women who qualified.
The woman and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The women.
Whoa.
The woman and I.
The women who are the extremely talented, strong
Things.
women. I meant to say like the thing is in like the list. That's what I was. I meant. Yeah.
No, that's.
I meant to say the thing as in the list of qualified women, but what I said was the things. So the things who have qualified for Strongest Women in Canada will be announced, I think, today.
Yeah.
So I was really happy that a couple of my ladies they qualified. Unfortunately, neither of them have decided to. Kelsey is
Out east.
out of province,
Battling
working.
hurricanes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's what stopped her from doing that qualifier they just had there was that they couldn't guarantee that she'd be able to get back because they closed the bridge or whatever. So Kelsey was qualified, unfortunately would not be able to make it, and also Anna qualified too. And she's just kind of being honest with herself and doesn't feel like she's quite ready to tango with that yet.
And she has a good shot at placing well at nationals.
She will do well at nationals, and for my money, like I would like to see her. If I could have my way, she would have done it, but I don't want her to do it my way. I want her to do it the way that makes the most sense to her and the way that makes her, like that. I don't want her to go into it feeling like I'm not ready for this. I'm not happy. I don't want to be here. That kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So I also have to remind myself that she has been competing for 6 months.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, it's her
maybe
first year.
maybe the top show in the country might be a lofty aspiration for the first one, but the fact is that she would be able to hang, and she's just going to need that little more experience to feel more comfortable and confident.
Yeah.
And I think that next year will be a big
breakout
year for her, a really big year for her.
I have to say, as someone with no skin in the game, not coaching anyone, Kelsey and Anna are my two favorite female lifters.
Yeah.
Very different. Anna's so stoic.
Yeah.
And it's the Olympic background. Everything is like so precise.
Right,
She's
yeah.
so explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I just like love seeing that dialed in.
Yeah.
And then Kelsey's just strong,
She's a big
but
ball of
happy,
energy.
and she's just like,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
She's excited to be
And,
there, and she's
and-
friendly, and
If there's a competition, she'll do it.
yeah. Oh yeah,
we were
we've-
down
we've-
here
we've
and
seen that over
we're
and over
doing my
again.
K box for reps. She's
Yeah.
like, sign me up.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah, no, Kelsey is the definition of just like a game, like she's just down. Like she's just down to do whatever's thrown in front of her.
boy, has that term changed for us.
Yeah, she's in the best way possible.
You don't get it, Devin. But that's okay. You got married at 18.
But
Yeah.
she's
Gaming down?
done powerlifting. She's done strongman. She's done
Didn't you do the
Highland Games
Highland
one.
Games?
Like
Yeah.
just jumps in on everything, and it's
love
just
that.
like, yeah, it's really really cool. And for what we push, which is just constantly compete, just get out and do stuff and try things and see what you like and see what you don't like. She's just like the walking definition of that, which I can really appreciate. And yeah, Anna too, where she's just like, she has like we so barely scratched the surface with her. She's
It's
so
funny.
young and like she's just so good already. You know.
Like last year with Deadlifts for Dreams, she was Haley's sister.
Yes. Right.
Like
Kelsey.
Kelsey, it was just like, oh, you're Haley's sister.
Right.
And now it's just like you're Kelsey.
And that's really that's really saying something too. That Haley, for anyone who doesn't know, Kelsey's sister Haley was I want to say that she's the top ranked female powerlifter in Manitoba history.
I can't confirm or deny, but I would say with a lot of confidence
Can you pull up go to Michael Thrones' Instagram and he keeps thank you. He keeps
of course.
he has if you go back to a recent post of his, it'll show the rankings of the top powerlifters in Manitoba. But anyway, if she's not the very best, she's in the top.
You don't get
3 or
nicknamed
5.
Queen Haley,
Right?
in the most petty province in the country,
Yeah.
for no reason.
So to come out, start lifting in that person's shadow, someone who's literally one of the best in the province, and completely just like show that you are your own, like you're like you said, like you're not Haley's sister, you're Kelsey, you're a great competitor,
and she owns it.
Yeah, and she's really she's again like she's just somebody who just needs a little bit more practice with the implements, just a little more time, and her and Anna both are and I sound like I'm only talking about those two. We have a whole gym full of women right now.
I brought this up, so this is on me. I'm not.
But they are like they're pushing the log number. They're both hitting new they one hits a new Manitoba log unofficial Manitoba log record.
Yeah.
And the other one tops it, and then they keep going. And like Kelsey has this monster deadlift that Anna's chasing, and there's Haley's number one. That's what I thought. Yes. So and it's
Is
like
Haley older than Kelsey?
I think she's the older sister. Yes,
Okay.
I think.
You want to throw her age out there? Maybe her address.
I don't know her. Yeah.
But for these all the women that we have, and then Rose is coming up behind them, and Jenna, Candace's daughter, she's really been like just.
I saw her log on the Iron Age story, and I was like,
she's awesome. She's been pushing really hard, and just like we have so many like Mom Loli is somebody who's still like she's still the smallest dog in the game, but she's so fun to watch compete, and she's still getting better. Like she's still improving. And I feel if I left any of the females out of my gym, I'm sorry I didn't do it intentionally. But you guys are all just doing such
if
a
you
great.
left any more things out,
If I left any of those things around my gym out of the conversation, I don't mean to, because you guys are all doing just like really, really amazing work. But that's enough of that for now.
And then Lexi,
yeah,
who wasn't going to lift,
no, she wasn't. No,
and then she's like, Dave, like, can I hop in?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, I kind of banked on people not showing up. It happens every year, and it's totally okay. And I was like, I'll probably throw you in the second flight. And she's like, yeah, no problem.
yes, we didn't peak for nothing. I didn't program her for it. She was just
Her and Michelle both had the deadlifts of the day for me.
yeah. She was she's just getting built up for.
So I'll finish my
nationals.
sentence later.
Yeah, keep going.
So I was like, yeah, I'll probably throw you in the second flight. And she's like, yeah, no problem. Like, didn't say anything. And I was like, well, what are you opening with? She was like 360 or 380 something. I'm like, oh, I got to get you in the third flight.
Yeah. She had,
Totally discredited her.
Right. But she's slim. She's like young, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think that somebody who's that young could be pulling that kind of heavy weight.
Massive.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's under 140 pounds.
Yeah, like she's not like she's muscular, but she's
Well,
not
the
like a
lift
big girl.
she pulled that day would have beat the provincial record.
Yeah.
But,
She's somebody who's been really fun to watch and improving too. And yeah, I think that her third and Michelle's second deadlifts were the deadlifts of the day. And that's coming from somebody who pulled 777 fucking pounds. So that's really saying something. Yeah. But theirs were awesome. There was just like we're a fucking Michelle's was a fight right from the beginning that she managed to get through. And Lexi's was those last like maybe 5 or 6 inches up the legs that was just like brutal, and she just did not stop. And it was really, really fun to watch.
Did you see Chris Chuckery's lift?
I missed his last one. I saw his first two. I missed his last one.
That was one of my favorite ones because Chuckery, he's a guy who's held together by no tendons and ligaments.
Right.
He's had surgeries. Nothing. Like to get back into the gym, we have to modify a lot because there's nothing holding him together anymore.
Right.
He's had a lot of years of bad things, and we maxed out his deadlift. Wasn't more than 4. It was a rep dead, like I think a 3 rep, but he was peaking for like I think it was maybe a 410 or 415, something like that, 4 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And then we changed his programming, and he matched about 450 at the thing, which was unreal. But the lift pulled, he pulled, got it just below his knees, and he stopped. And then it went down an inch, and it swayed away from him. And I'm like, oh, that lift is over. In my head, like watching, like as a coach, I'm like, that lift is over. No, he somehow grinded out with it swaying in and out of his legs, and he managed to lock out. And then he almost went to sleep, so I grabbed onto his belt. You can see it in the video. I just hold him, his belt, so I just hold him steady. And he's like, okay, Devin, I'm good. And he just walks away.
I don't think we had that at all this year. No one took any naps this
Nothing.
year at all.
That's why when Dan went up, I always went to the side.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for Dan to go to sleep.
Yeah. No, he was.
He's like, I only did that twice, Devin. I'm like, well, Daddy's here to catch you if you need.
Yeah, we didn't have anybody take a nap. There was nobody threw up, no nosebleeds. Everyone,
No real injuries.
Everyone, nobody, no injuries at all.
A couple
I think,
tweaks.
right?
Yeah, Gord did something to his glute. That's why he. We were hoping to pull an all-time PR.
Oh, okay.
And then after the first, he's like, something's wrong.
Okay.
Dialed the second one, and then he's like, yeah, we can't do this.
At least his legs looked really jacked.
Yeah. For a guy who's got knee surgery coming up in 5 weeks, he's doing pretty good.
Oh, he's coming up, eh?
Yeah, beginning of November.
He'll sneak out nationals and then get knee surgery.
He actually had the surgery was booked ready for this month. I think this month, and he canceled it and put it for the week after nationals.
That's actually really good that he got it that quickly again,
Yeah.
though. That's pretty. That's
Yeah,
really
his
something,
insurance
actually.
had let me know in his first week in November.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Sup, buddy? 204
Yeah.
DM'd me,
Okay.
and he responded to my picture of me deadlifting with Spencer's sister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, man, this was before I pulled 500 for the first time. I was really hoping you were going to pull this as a joke before I tried.
It was you picking it up with
Spencer's
Spencer, I think,
sister.
right?
Yeah.
And he was standing there. That's my buddy Jordan. That's Bowers from my gym. And
Oh, that's
that's Bowers.
because his display picture is
Cyrus from Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
He was standing there and I was standing behind him and he's kind of trying to stay in the zone, whatever. And he was like, "Man, if Beeks picks up this weight right now, I'm gonna fucking kill myself."
I really laughed
Cold
at that, man.
And I said, you know what? I don't know
Off
that.
balance.
Yeah, I don't know that Beeks has a cold. Or I said a cold 500 pounds in him right now. But we'll see.
That's funny because I was like, not without a warm up.
Yeah. But yeah, so then Jordan's one of my guys who did really well too. There was I really like those days, the Deadlift for Dreams days. Even though it was actually my first time in attendance for one.
I know you've missed every year.
I missed CSM last year.
Yeah.
COVID the year before, and I was at one of the Midtown ones.
You would have been the
Midtown
first
ones,
one,
yeah.
probably.
Maybe in two.
Second,
Midtown
no,
ones.
second one was
Second
done.
one was video submission.
Video
Right.
submission
Okay.
only,
So the first Midtown one I was at, but it's awesome because it's just like it's a really fun experience for the guys who don't compete and who don't. It's a good way to dip your toe. Like the same with the novice show or the log competition or whatever, where you can dip your toe into the idea of competing in front of an audience, and you can get those butterflies, you can get the feelings, whatever stuff, and just be like, okay, but I can still do this, right?
That was
Without
like,
the-
oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying without the pressure of like a full competition. That's all. Yeah.
I didn't want to Devin you. Gagging Deep.
Yeah.
He signed up for the truck deadlift.
Yeah.
And I was like, was that a mistake? He's like, I've never done it before.
Right.
And he's like, this is just the best opportunity to try it.
Right.
And that's the right attitude.
That's exactly right.
You know
I
what I
have
mean?
about it. Yeah, absolutely.
He said he was pressured into it.
Yeah.
So that's true. He said if I'm not bullied into anything around here, I just don't show up. So he said I was bullied into all this.
Someone was bugging me because Deep showed up, and I walked in the back, and because oversight by me, we didn't have loaders, so I was like, just whoever. I was like, Gord, Jocelyn, can you guys do this? And of course they're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
naturally they're going to. Yeah.
And I knew all along, like Nikki every year does she calls out the weights and gets that taken care of. And I walk in the back, and I didn't even know Gagging Deep was there yet. I'm like, Deep. He's like, what's up, B? I'm like, you're loading. He's like, okay.
He's definitely one of the most like agreeable, like just like
He's just that dude.
he's also down. Like he's just
Yeah.
like a down ass guy who'll just do whatever he has to
Who
do to
was
help
yelling
out.
out the weights? The girl that we had.
Nikki.
Nikki. So she put me in my place.
Did she?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Really early on.
Little mouse
Yeah.
put you in
So
your
we
place.
had no loaders at first. Everyone's going and she was yelling weights, but everything was in pounds. It wasn't converted to kilos on her list. The openers weren't on the list. It was a shit show for the first flight. And so me being me, I'm trying to figure it out and micromanage her and everything else. And she finally just like, Devin, I'm gonna take care of the weights. So I'm like, see you later. I'm
Yeah,
out.
good for
Like,
her.
because we had the loaders. Gagging Deep came in. We had a couple guys, and I was more causing more confused at that point because I was calculating them all and just this is what you need to put on. And it's like, Devin, I'll just take care of this whole thing. She gave me a list of names. Just get me these names. I'll do everything else. So I just went around yelling at people until they came and gave their weights. And that's why we.
great.
The first flight, I was pretty anxious, and it's funny that you said that. I was anxious, and I'm like, this looks like shit, and it's like eating me up inside. And Anna was there, and I went to her. I'm like, does this look terrible? She's like, no, it's fine.
What do you would think looked like shit?
I thought the same.
Because some people are like giving their weights in pounds and kilos, and I'm like, it's moving too slow, and it looks unorganized. And and then my dad was there, and my dad's never been to a lifting competition. I'm like, does this look terrible? He's like, does what look terrible?
yeah.
And I went to Carly, and I'm like, is this terrible? Is it moving slow? And nobody noticed, but me as 1/8 of the event organizers. And similar brain to you is just like, oh, like people are gonna think this sucks.
I felt judged.
And then, but Anna made a good point. She's like, it's kids and novice lifters,
Right. Yeah,
like, give it a break. And then once we got to flight 2, flight 3, flight 4,
it moved very smoothly.
it was just boom, boom, boom. Truck lift was scheduled to start at 2.
Yeah.
We did the dunk tank and the truck lift, and we're done by 2.
Right.
1:45 we finished.
And that was the conversation we had on the phone, where Devin's like, if everyone takes 60 seconds to lift and then plate changes, we're going to be there till 4:30. And I'm like, Devin, man, trust me. Some people aren't going to show up. It moves faster than that. And, it balanced out. And it does move quick.
It flew way
and
faster.
I was like, okay, 60's the right number.
Yeah.
I don't think more,
Nope.
but I think 60's the right number.
I think so.
Yeah.
And if you have like a sub list for next year for like the inevitable people who can't make it or drop out or whatever, and
Well, we talked about doing that.
because I had a bunch of people that wanted to do it and couldn't do it because
We talked about doing a day before call out. Like we were talking about, send everybody a message. Are you coming tomorrow or not? So that way, if they aren't, we can let some more people in.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or a week before, whatever we were talking.
I do have to say, I get a lot of credit for this event. And it's kind of my dream child, and I'll forever like baby it. It's the thing I love most in the world. And Dream Factory does so much work, but between your two guys' gyms, it's not what it is today. And with your members and your guys' support and the 2 gyms, like encouraging your members to participate and to fundraise. It's not what it is today without the 2 of you, and I appreciate that so much.
It's easy to do when it's something that's good. You know, what
it
I mean?
is,
And it's fun. Like it's like something that like doesn't feel like a chore to do it when you're going there and maxing out your deadlift.
Yeah,
No, when we're passionate about it, it's
yeah.
My pastor of my church showed up, Rick,
What?
and he was there
Oh,
at the event.
not the one that went to Florida. Not Mike.
That's
Pastor
Pastor
Mike.
That's Mike.
I go to
yeah.
2 different churches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I need lots of saving.
Devin's hedging his bets over
I
here.
need
Catholic
lots of
and
saving.
Protestant.
I was going to
He
different
goes to that
church.
Hindu temple that's
Yeah.
on St. Anne's there. He pops in once and again just to make sure.
You will not seek me
Hanji,
there.
Hanji.
So Rick showed up and he's like, Devin, why didn't you tell me about this event? I'm like, well, he doesn't.
This month's tithes going.
Yeah, no. He's like, I would have announced it in church. I'm like, the church. He's like, it's a fundraiser for children.
Yeah.
We announced those things in church. So I would announce church, and there's some wealthy business guys at church, like, and I guarantee you would have had some corporate sponsors. I'm like, all right, next year I'll let you know. I just didn't want to bring religion into like, hey, you know, do a little drop announcement in church for this fundraiser we're putting on at my gym. But he comes to my gym. I help his son out at my gym. And a lot of the guys at our church come to my gym. So it's I guess, yeah. So next year I'm going to reach out.
It's the same thing as the Hooters thing. If you don't like it, match their donation, and then we'll not put them into the thing. It's really as simple as that. If you got a problem with like a church or whatever, you got a problem with Hooters, match the sponsorship, match the donation, and they can fly.
We're going to keep their money.
Yeah, they'll be there too, but, but they'll be minimized compared to your huge contribution. So.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
That's cool.
And Thrones as well. Live streaming it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like Kelsey got to watch it.
Right.
And you know, it was kind of late, and I should have got you the logo sooner, and we didn't like pump it out that we were doing that. But next year, if we still have the ability to do that,
We will.
letting people know sooner. I hope it doesn't retract from the crowd that shows up in person, but letting people know sooner that, you know, if you can watch online and they have the opportunity to watch and be like, this is awesome, I'm going to donate.
Yeah. And we could do a donation thing on there like they do on TV. Like
Exactly.
if you want to donate, and it will be live stream next year because
Love Sarah McLaughlin
I was
saying
saying like a live telethon
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
because-
dog with flies around its head in the arms of an
me and
angel.
Tyler bought all that equipment, so we're doing live stream for every show.
Yeah.
So and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, we're using
It
all
won't
these.
stay on sponsor screens.
Yeah, we missed Flight 4. We
You can hear it.
yeah, you hear it great. Yeah, you think that it's luckily our MCs did a great job announcing all the numbers. It was like listening to a radio broadcast of a deadlift competition.
Yeah.
But we no, it's
5:90 a.m.
It's like the old man sitting in Mighty Ducks listening to the radio.
Yeah.
but that's why we wanted to make sure that we're doing every opportunity that we can to get these streaming things so that we can work out all the kinks and all the practice stuff, and we can make sure that it's parfait for when it's for the shows that that we want to really kill it for.
Yeah.
Not like Deadlift for Dreams, not those shows. But.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we've really overlooked this. What do you guys think of my high kick?
For my deadlift, yeah, that was pretty sick.
I missed
Did you see it?
Completely unplanned and spontaneous. I was so jacked up when that happened. I just did this stupid high kick,
I missed it. Like at Steven Seagal shin kick high or really high?
like Cobra Kai. Yeah, I went full Ralph
Do you have a video of it or
Macchio.
what?
I do.
Mom Loli posted it.
Molly posted it, and I know that Lane took one, I think, too.
Lane.
Who's
Truck
an absolute
deadlifting.
beauty.
Truck deadly in freaking flip flops. What a
Yeah,
tit.
yeah. And that's after I gave him 3 nut taps on the day.
Yeah. He stayed at my place Friday night till Sunday. He always comes out. Is your camper ready? Yep. And I leave the camper up. I was actually
Nice.
just saw my camper 2 months ago already. And then him and Corey come like, all right, I'll keep the camper for the summer. Just use my camper.
Yeah.
So it saves them Airbnb costs.
I'll find the video for you another time.
You can't find it?
Yeah, I can't find it right
It's in
now.
the middle of all those home videos.
Yeah, I don't want to scan too much in front of you guys, so I'll just and I don't mean to put a damper on anything, but I wouldn't be myself if I didn't say how much the MPA has disappointed me again. That it's where here we are having a charity deadlift. Two things that go together very, very well if you're a good-hearted powerlifter, you would think. An event that focuses around deadlifting and an event that has a charity aspect to it. And how many representatives would you say there were from the MPA or lifters from the like even lifting?
The lifting thing chaps me a little bit. They were originally involved, and there was a bit of a changing of the guard, and they made a donation.
Oh, they did
To
they did
this?
year?
They did make a donation.
Maybe I should be clear on this. When I say the MPA, I don't know. This is gonna sound like I'm backtracking, but I'm not. I'm not talking about the actual organization,
The powers that
the
be.
people who run the MPA.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people who who compete and are in the MPA.
Yeah.
The people who are supposed to love this shit and who are supposed to be supportive of the things that are happening in their province.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. And that's totally fair to say because there's a bit of a changing of the guard of the powers that be with MPA, and the timing was just kind of funny. And unfortunately, they didn't send representatives of their representatives. But I do agree with you. Every year, it's been a very odd relationship with lifters who
Right.
lift in the MPA.
Like compare how many lifters were children to how many lifters were registered MPA
Yeah.
like CPU athletes.
Yeah.
Let's say CPU. So I'm not. Doesn't sound like I'm targeting the MPA as much, but the lifters, not the organizers, but like Thrones, Candace,
Lexi technically. But
Lexi, like these are people who are.
we had 2 people there in singlets. 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would assume that they were. Yeah, I don't. I didn't get a chance to meet everybody who was there, but not enough.
Because there were some people,
No,
we were
Yeah.
0.4 of a kilogram out because we didn't have the right collars after doing the 5s.
So is yeah. I heard
Throat
that.
punches almost started happening.
But there was a lot of opportunity for people who like lifting to do something good with that passion, and it doesn't seem like it's always been taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And also, I'll say too, there wasn't enough strongman representation there either. The guys who were there lifting, awesome, and there's a couple guys like Jeremy from my gym came and popped out and came and watched. There's a few guys who came out and just were bodies in the area, which is nice.
Yeah.
But come on, guys, like there's how many people in our strong Manitoba?
Corey drove from Dauphin.
Corey drove from Dauphin. And couldn't do nothing but hang out and watch.
Still
And-
from his fake injury, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the nurse's bullshit leg injury. But everybody else, I say this with love for you guys, that I want you guys to be at these things. I want everyone to come out and show that Manitoba Strongman can be supportive and crush these things.
Well, there were
and-
strongman guys signed up that were signed up for the lift. They just
God
didn't show up.
damn those strongmen, and we're gonna find out who they are, and we're gonna say their names on the show. But and that's I don't want to make it a big negative thing, but I just want to say that for next year when we do this, like please consider coming out, just hanging out and watching. If you like lifting, which I would assume everyone does, who's listening to the show and who is part of Strong Manitoba or the MPA or whatever, just come hang out and watch some lifting.
Have a free burger.
Have a burger.
And we had one strongman guy show up who literally gave a shit.
Who's
Nathan Paul.
Nathan Paul.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah,
that's literally the funniest moment of your life.
And I didn't even interrupt you to get out there.
No fat on the bone with that one. You absolutely nailed that.
So what's the goal for next year? I know me and Curtis subconscious we chatted about a goal.
Let's not put it out there yet. I know the number. I'm like sweating now thinking
about it.
I think it's doable.
I think it's.
So Sunday morning, 7:00 in the morning, I emailed Carly probably a 5,000 word email of just what went right, what went wrong, what I want to do next year. And I'm like,
she was like, chill the fuck out, Beeks.
she
I'm running
texted
a damn
me
marathon.
And I'm like,
I'm running a fucking marathon today, Beeks.
This is why Carly and Andrew think I'm crazy. But it's just.
Shout out to Carly though too.
Carly's
she hit a PR
amazing.
marathon, by the way.
Did she?
I messaged her. I seen her thing. I commented on her story, and she messaged back that it was a PR.
Yeah.
So that's
shout out to her for being just like a good representation of, and I don't know why when you said you're working with someone from like the business side of like the what's the word I'm looking for, like the office side of the Dream Factory thing,
corporate side. Yeah.
I just didn't picture this like really athletic, like strong, fit like woman, and so when I saw that I was like, fuck, that's awesome. I don't know what it was. It was just like that's great,
and a blessing in disguise to have someone who's kind of in the fitness world.
Right, she gets it a little more dense than some people might.
Yeah, but her and Andrew, and both of them, I've said this to them, and I've texted them, and I've emailed them. I can't give them enough credit because without them, this is probably still a dream in my head because fundraising and tax and charity stuff, I don't know anything about that. And they're just like, they built the website. The website looks amazing. Very little cash in hand is exchanged. It's all electronic, so it looks clean and is clean. And they promote the heck out of it. I think they share all of our passion for it. I don't think, I know they do. And they're just absolutely phenomenal.
Because they put on events that quadruple the money we raised.
Yeah.
And yet this one they put a ton of effort into.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's a huge focus to them is this event, even though it's not their biggest event.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah. And it's the thing is that it's fun and it's different.
Yeah.
Like you can only do so many golf tournaments and dragon boat races.
Right.
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 This is different. It brings out bearded and tattooed freaks.
Yep.
But then it goes, oh, they have massive hearts. And
I think we get Marshall Johnson up next year to lift.
Yeah.
I know where that's going. Okay,
Oh,
let's.
No, I'll tell you guys after because I don't want to say anything about Marshall without him saying it about himself.
2 for 2 these last 2 weeks
Yeah.
for Devin
2 for
there.
2,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
We will get Marshall eventually.
Okay.
But I think we lean into the Massonomics thing, like Jeffers and other guys that you know.
Yeah.
And get bigger names out there.
Bigger bouncy castle.
How about a bouncy castle that doesn't turn into an escape room?
Did it fall down?
Dude, those kids were jumping on the sides of it and buckled it right down. It looked like a Royal Rumble.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was pretty funny to watch.
But I think that's how we kept so many of the parents around, because parents usually only stick around for an hour or two because the kids are getting out of hand, and they just
Right.
said, we can't have this, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And that kept them around all day.
Right. Yeah. That was a nice touch.
Without there's things that I'm going to reach for that I don't want to put out there yet until I have some contacts. But I do think I want to get an animal rescue shelter there and have a dog pen.
Nice.
And have option to adopt a puppy on site.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah. A bigger bouncy castle.
Yep.
Like that one was great. It was great to have it. The
Yep.
kids loved it. But I think like a more industrial kind of one. But then have a pen with 5, 6, 7 puppies in it with the option to adopt
to
on
foster or
site.
take home or whatever. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And again, just grow the whole thing is an event. You're not just coming to watch deadlifting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Beezy, what's our time there?
No.
We'll just, all right, so just
Not bad.
So, now to touch on one of our okay, so it's supposed to be the end of the season wrap up for me, but I think that I have one more competition in November now.
Oh.
Yeah, international. I don't want to. I don't want to say too much until it's secured, but I'll talk about more to do with that when I know more of the details of it. But we have strongest woman in Canada. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Strongest woman in Canada, amateur nationals, and the record breakers event on Sunday. Tickets are available between me, Devin, Strong Manitoba, Strongman Corp Canada. These are all places that you can, Strong and Petty page, you can contact any of these places to get tickets. Brickhouse has tickets. Yep. Jesse Morrison from Brickhouse has tickets. So contact him, speak to him, whatever. We really want to fill that place, and we really want to make sure we fill that place for, Saturday is going to be an easy one because it's everyone coming to see the people they know and whatever, but let's not like bury the lead with strongest woman in Canada, which is going to be a really, really big show, and it's going to feature quite literally the strongest women in the country. Not to mention, we talked about it last time, but Sam Beliveau, who's certainly the favorite this year, like one of the very best in strength sports, male or female, in the world.
I'd put her top 10, probably top 10 in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah, and
Someone
she's
probably has an old Baba out there who's all of them, but
and she's going to compete right here in Winnipeg, and it's just going to be it's going to be one of those things where if you're a strength sport aficionado or fan or whatever, a very rare opportunity to see one of the very, very best do it. So make sure you come down and see that. Contact us for tickets, and should we just pretty much leave it at that then for now?
One more thing. My Pee-wee Maginot Falcons.
The Falcons report.
The Falcons report.
The Falcons report. They played Saturday at 12:30. I couldn't be there.
Okay.
We won 67-7.
Holy shit!
Hell yeah.
Our points for this year is about 240 after 4 games, and our points against is at 40.
Got to tighten the defense a little bit.
How many B injuries?
Sorry?
Any bees?
No bees this week.
The wasp injury
The bees
reports.
knees, youngest.
We're averaging 10 points against per game.
Wow.
And I have to go and do our Monday night recap, and I've watched the game film almost 7 times now.
Yeah.
And the amount of mistakes made is just like we should probably have 3 shutouts.
Really? Wow.
And I hate being that guy that's like taking away you won by 60 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just we probably should have won by 120 if the defense does their assignments.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids are playing amazing. We have some absolute studs on the team. And but yeah, 4-0, 3 games left before playoffs. And we're rolling.
Awesome.
It's great.
That's
it's
great to
fun.
hear. The fucking unstoppable train that is the Maginot Falcons.
Maginot Falcons.
Yeah, that's sick.
You probably grew up a Greendale Falcons guy.
No, Mustangs.
Well, they're St. Vital Mustangs. Falcons used to be out of Greendale, and that's where I played as a kid.
Okay.
And now they're at Maginot, which I didn't even know existed until I started coaching there.
How late does the season go?
3 more weeks and then 2 weeks of playoffs.
That'd be pretty funny to do a Strong and Petty episode on field.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
would be fun, yeah.
That'd be pretty wild.
Do a live game report.
Post-game interview with one of our 13-year-olds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, both teams played hard. We gave 100.
Yeah, just our producer here just reminded us that we have a giveaway, too, that we got to announce.
Yeah, I said I would announce the giveaway Monday, but we're going to do it Tuesday morning. We'll announce the winner of the giveaway. So stay tuned for that.
This is...
The Sutton King giveaway?
Yeah, but this comes out tomorrow morning?
Yep.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yeah, I said I would do it today, like I said Monday, because we're recording today.
Oh, so this will be announced by the time this pod...
Yeah. No, we're going to announce it Tuesday morning, right after the podcast airs.
Oh, on the Instagram.
Yeah. On the Instagram.
Well, just say it.
Yeah.
Just as simple as
They'll
that.
be minutes apart. Like, where are you going?
Well, if the contest is only on Instagram, I didn't think I need to clarify it's on Instagram.
Okay, it's an Instagram only content, so we cannot talk about who won on here. We can't do it.
Because when Janaea posts it before everyone, they might hear it before it's on Instagram.
I want to close with one thing here. What the fuck are you saying? What's youngest?
Youngest?
Yeah.
Be like children or...
It's like a low
So
German
what's the
term or
pull
what?
teach word?
Gotcha.
Youngest. Like
Youngest.
children or kids.
I've heard you say it a few times recently, and I was like, that's got to be one of those
So
funny,
is now your youngest?
funny Mennonite words. All right, so with that, Deadlift for Dreams no longer a thing. Destroyed forever. Never think about it again.
Never happening again.
Nope.
Until
So-
February 2024.
So now, putting our focus on October 20th. Contact us for tickets for that. Follow at Manitoba Strongman, Strong and Petty, Dave Beakley, Training Grounds Gym, Chud Life Instagram. Thank you, Youngest.
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 There you go.
I hope we have no youngest followers.